All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Thursday. Welcome to Thursday, March 27th. And also welcome to our Power Up. It's good to be on with you on this wonderful day. And thank you for joining me no matter what time of day you're watching. I do enjoy our times together through social media to connect in the Word of God. I know this isn't our normal time, and I know I didn't give you a heads up yesterday about the time change for today. For that, I apologize. So please forgive me on that if you would. And hopefully, a regular Power Up family can get on here live with us. And so I apologize. We're a little bit earlier. I'm going to be preaching chapel at Emmanuel Christian School in Roscommon today. So I would appreciate your prayers as I preach to the young people there at Emmanuel Christian School. And so that's where I'll be. And appreciate your prayers on that. Also, man, today is an exciting day. It is opening day of the baseball season. So I have my tie on, Tiger tie, and ready to go here. And I'm excited about opening day here and excited about the Tigers baseball season. And so that's kind of thrilling. Also, tonight, we have our cottage prayer meeting. That's and our time together in prayer is more important than anything that this world has to offer. So I'm excited about baseball season, but man, I'm pumped to join with our church family in prayer tonight. Remember, we will be at the Kogelmans this evening. All right, here we go. Let me give you our verses for the day. We're going to have two verses today. They're right next to each other. Psalm 139. Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14. Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14. The Bible says, "For thou hast possessed my reins. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb." And now look at the response. Because created by God, life is given by God, the psalmist here says, "I will praise thee for life." And now, let me pause for just a moment here. In many respects, and don't take this wrong, in many respects, life is what you make it, and really a large part of the enjoyment of our life is really our perspective on it. Obviously, true joy is found in Jesus Christ, but a person that does not have the proper perspective of life, even a saved person, can be miserable, of course. And so the psalmist here says, "I will praise thee. I will praise thee for the life that I have." And unfortunately, there are many who are discouraged at life, disappointed in life, and depressed about life. And unfortunately, there are some that take their life and all of that, and that's a sad thing. But note this, that life comes from God. And the psalmist here says, "Hey, I've been given life. I will praise thee." Now, let's get into really our thought for the day here. It says, "For I am fearfully and wonderfully made." That's incredible. And then look at the further description. "Marvelous are thy works." Hey, I am a marvel that's been created by God. And that my soul knoweth right well. Look at that descriptor here. "I will praise thee." Why? "For I am fearfully, wonderfully made, and marvelous are thy works." Now, what does that mean really for us today? And how is that going to help us today? Let me just start off by saying this. You are special to God. You are unique to God. God has created you, and there's nobody in the history of his creation that is like you. And you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, the psalmist says here. And so if you're watching this, note this, that you are special to God. You are not insignificant to God. The scriptures say that the Lord knows the very number of hairs on each one of our heads. God has created you with a unique personality. He's created you with unique design, and no human being is the same. And there's a big push in our society obviously, that goes against the scriptures, goes against the Lord, obviously, to where if you're not satisfied with the gender that you are, that you can change. The fact is this, that you cannot change gender. No matter how many body parts you cut off, you still have the same DNA, and you still have the same chromosomes, all of that. God has created you unique. And so you need to use that uniqueness that God has created you with for His honor and for His glory. Did you get that part? The uniqueness that God has created you with for His honor and His glory. Here's what mankind does. We take that uniqueness and often pervert it with sin and poor decisions, if you will, and we classify that as being unique. Well, I've got this thing in my life, that the sin in my life that I don't think is sin, and it's just unique to me. No, I'm not making excuses for your sin, not making your excuses for people's delusions and maybe mental disorders. I'm not making excuses for that. What I'm saying is that with your life, your body, your personality, your uniqueness, you are to use all of that to glorify who? God. And our world tells us that you do you, glorify yourself. Hey, it's all about you. And nothing could be further from the truth. No, it's all about our Creator. He is the one that has created us, gifted us, and we should seek to glorify Him rather than self. The psalmist here says, hey, God, you've created fearfully and wonderfully have you created me. And he says, I will praise thee. Now, here's another aspect of this that I think is important for us to point out. Because of sin, the sin that mankind deals with, sometimes we have, this might be the wrong way to state this, but I think you understand what I'm saying here. Sometimes we have maybe some inadequacies in what we would call our personality and in who we are. Sometimes we struggle with, and I'll just throw this out there, we struggle with anger sometimes. Sometimes we struggle with that. And does that mean, hey, you know what? God has created me with this anger problem, and so that's just who I am. That's a wrong way to view it. And remember, we are created to glorify Him. The psalmist says, I will praise thee, for I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Okay, and so if anger is the problem, is a problem in your life, this verse, this passage is not an excuse, well, God just created me that way. No. That is, anger can be sinful, and so it's something that needs to be worked on and dealt with, okay? And there's a lot of other areas that we could point to. You go to maybe the gender thing, the LGBTQIA plus thing, and you know what, where a boy says, I like boys, and that's just the way that God has created me. Or a girl says, I like girls, and that's just the way God created me. Well, I'm gender fluid, all that kind of stuff. That is not glorifying to the Lord. That is a dissatisfaction with the way that God has created them, and they're in denial about that. Another thing, too, and I want to be careful how I state this, and another thing, too, is people would say they're not satisfied with the body that they have been given. And that's something that I think many people struggle with. I think everybody as a teenager potentially struggles with that. Because their body is changing so much as a teenager, we struggle with the confidence and all of that. And some people say, well, God's created me with this horrible body and all that kind of stuff. Here's just a couple of quick thoughts on that. First of all, God did not mess up when He created you. Secondly, in some respects, the creation, the body that God has given us, we have abused maybe somewhat with our choices in regards to what we eat, in regards to maybe our lack of exercise and all that. And I'm not saying that's the answer for everything. I'm just saying in some fashion. We also know this, and light's being shed on it here in the United States, that our food supply is tainted drastically, and there's evidence for this, I believe, that there are those that in our in our government, and they're tied to all kinds of money. It's just a big circle. If they can keep Americans unhealthy, they go to the doctors. They have constant bills. They're on medication, which they take for the rest of their life. They're constantly paying for that. And then those medications lead to other side effects. You don't believe me? Watch a commercial that talks about different medications and listen to the side effects about that. It's just a vicious cycle, and you don't make any money off of healthy people. And so if they try to keep you unhealthy and so on. And then we've gotten to this point in our society today to where we are almost now celebrating, I'll just say obesity. We're celebrating that kind of lifestyle and binging on food, all that kind of stuff, and it's just horrible. Okay, and we could go on and on about it. What am I saying here? Sometimes we make the excuse for the way that we might look. We make the excuse for the way that we might act and say, you know what, God made me this way. And remember, God has created us to glorify Him. Okay? And our inadequacies are not an excuse for us to sit back and say, you know what, God created me this way. No, if we have inadequacies, there's something that we need to deal with. Okay? The psalmist here, and this is great. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Know that you are unique. God has created you unique, and we all have this purpose. This our uniqueness is unified under this purpose, and that is to bring honor and glory to the Lord. The psalmist here says, "Hey, I'm unique. I will praise thee," and that's what we need to do with our life and with who we are. Okay? Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you for being on. So appreciate your faithfulness of watching. Hit the share button if you haven't already done so. I know we're a little early. Don't forget the prayer meeting tonight. And then I ask if you would to pray for me as I'm preaching in chapel at a local Christian school here in Roscommon. Excited about that opportunity. And so please be in prayer for that. And then don't forget cottage prayer meeting tonight. All right, let's greet those that have commented live here as well. Karen, good morning to you. Thank you for watching. Grace, thanks for being on as well. And tell Christy I said hello. And miss my buddy joining me for our Power Up here. Ingrid, good morning to you. Have a great day. Love you. Lord willing, we'll reconnect this afternoon. I know we're kind of split apart here for the day a little bit, but have a great day, Ingrid. David and Claudia, good morning to you guys. And let me clarify, split apart. We're not, there's no issues. I'm going and she's working, all that kind of stuff. And so don't, I could have said that better, I guess. Brian and Cindy, good morning to you guys as well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you all so much for being on. Lord willing, we'll reconnect tomorrow. Tomorrow is looking like our normal time, 9 o'clock, and look forward to that. Have a great day. Lord willing, we'll reconnect tomorrow morning.